This is definitely something I gotta cheers to. I just realized something. Cheers. Goblins becoming my mascot. So last year I didn't really talk about this too much, but last year I was trying to say that 2017 was the year of the Goblin. Now, unfortunately, I got so sidetracked with helping out with everything that I was doing that I didn't really get to the chance to do all these Goblin appearances. Now, I wanted to, but things just got sidetracked. So obviously, I do consider Goblins to be kind of like a mascot. They had a lot more presence in year two. Somehow I was always mentioning them, so I kind of wanted to get back to it. So yeah, Goblins are going to make more appearances. I thought Ren and Stimpy kind of helped me out, but that was just the main problem, was I just didn't have enough things actually going in mind to. So yeah, there's types of goblins. I remember looking up last year that there was like a snow goblin that I wanted to talk about. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I was going to talk about a snow goblin, and I was going to talk about like, cave goblins and all these different types of goblins. There's so many. I mean, really, if you go to Wikipedia and look up goblins, there's actually types of them. But the main goblin that I kind of had in mind was, of course, kind of the similarity style to Spider-Man. I mean, Demo Goblin, Hobgoblin, and Green Goblin all actually accentuated the way I looked at goblins for probably a good 10 or 12 years. Now, obviously, the Spider-Man movie, the one that came out in 2002, that one attempted to kind of put some actual, formation to say what the Green Goblin would actually be like in real life, and it worked, but it kind of lost some of the animated and fluid style that the comics and the animated show had. But I mean, really, I've always seen Green Goblin as green and purple. That's just kind of the way it was, but it's like I always see Hobgoblin as turquoise and orange. I mean, these are just things that just has a natural fit for it. But, those are the goblins that I resonate with the most. But then there's actually other ones I'm starting to. So in recent years, I'd probably say that Demo Goblin is probably one of my favorites, but now I just plain have taken a liking for these goblin things. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a goblin. I just need to find some goblin memes. I remember I was on Facebook once and I tried to find like some goblin memes and I couldn't do it. And I was like, well, what the shit, Why is there not goblin memes on circulating? There's so many different things. I mean, I don't even remember what I found. I think I was just looking for something and I wound up getting like some Asian music group, and I was like, okay, so that's a goblin now. I don't even remember, but yeah, I mean, in a most definite sense, goblins are just all over the place. And that's kind of the thing, but I don't really like the hunched over ones that kind of, have their hands like this. They're kind of, walk like that and shit. I don't really see that as like the typical goblin. I think just as much as other people, anime definitely heighten this. If you like your animation, your Japanimation, that sort of thing, anime has always kind of heralded these sorts of fantasy characters, and they don't necessarily fit the standards of, every single villain is ugly or something like that. I mean, which I'm glad for. I mean, just look at Vegeta. He wasn't an ugly villain. So I mean, that's just the whole thing. But me just starting to actually like goblins more. I mean, I really had to kind of dice up And that's what I was trying to say about, these guys, is that nose goblins, I think that they might have been one that coined the term. But if you go to Urban Dictionary, they just plain say that they're just boogers. They're just giant boogers. That's just the whole thing there. Obviously, they had to have gotten the idea from somewhere. I just want to keep that idea running. That's where Party with the Nose Goblins comes from. But it's not like, I watched an episode of Ren and Stimpy and said that's what I want to do. I just looked up what a nose goblin meant. And then sure enough, in Google search, it showed Ren and Stimpy. Then I went to Urban Dictionary and it said they're just boogers. So yeah, sure enough, nose goblins, goblins, snow goblins, cave goblins, hobgoblins, demogoblin, demagogues, trolls, all this sorts of stuff I wanted to start showing in abundance. It's just something that's going to, of course, happen. But I'm melting. Stop staring at me. Yeah, you get a cookie if you know where that quote came from. I'll tell you that. That's something that Capri Sun does pretty often. He'll sit there and movie quote things and be like, you're a genius if you know where that came from. Well, yeah, I need to start doing this more. I'm well aware of it. So